Let's look at the pickleball stance. When you're serious, you should be standing somewhat like this, with the knees slightly bent and your body leaning slightly forward with your arms in front of your chest. This will maximize your response time. Right guys, so over here we have examples of bad posture. So these are all very laid back postures. You know, if you're just trying to have a very casual, non-serious game, that's totally fine. Okay, let's talk about the perfect contact point for pickleball. Generally, it's always in front of your body, preferably with your arms as straight as possible. So top, left, right, middle, left, right, bottom, left, right. So it's always in front of your body, okay? There is no shortcut to this. You have to do it to get the sweet spot. Over here we have examples of bad contact point. Generally, your arms should not be extremely bent. Slightly bent is fine, and it should not be sticking to your body too tightly. Right now, let's go through what is a pickleball push. Alright, this is very commonly used in pickleball games. Alright, you always have to push the ball. It's a push, it's not a slice, it's not hitting, it's literally a push. Okay? If the ball is high, you are supposed to push it down. If the ball is in the middle, somewhat in the waist level, you are supposed to push it back to your opponent's waist. Generally, you are always supposed to push it downwards, towards the waist or lower. The whole idea is to create discomfort for your opponents so that they can make mistakes for you to finish the shot. For you to hit the sweet spot and to create as much force as possible, your arm must be as straight as possible. The side view helps to exaggerate the push motion so that you can understand how I'm really pushing the shot forward. In time to come, when you are more experienced, you understand where to direct your push towards the opponent. And for extra power, the trick is to make full use of your shoulder, the twitch. But I guess if this is your only offensive move, then you better do it well. There are other ways to finish the shot, but it's more for intermediate to advanced, so I won't talk about it over here. For pushing on a move, these are some of the examples which you can follow. Feel free to slow down the footage to observe and learn. Okay, it's time to learn how to dink. Dink is basically the lifting up of your shoulder. Alright, the higher you lift, the higher the ball goes. The lower you lift, the lower the ball goes. Alright, so you have to practice the control. Right, the wrong thing to do here is to hit it like what I just showed in an example. Dinking is more commonly used after the ball bounce. Then you lift up your shoulder to scoop up the ball. Remember not to hit like this. This is definitely wrong. For the dink to be smooth, you have to be lifting up your shoulder. How do you know if your shoulder is being lifted up? Just look at the example. How do you know if you're not dinking correctly? This is an example. Your shoulder is not lifted. It's always pointing downwards. This is a wrong way of dinking. Because your shoulder is such a large muscle group, so it is much more effective in absorbing the impact when the ball comes in contact. Our arms, on the other hand, has a smaller muscle group, so it tends to absorb the impact less effectively. Hence, whenever you hit like this, it tends to bounce off quite far and quite high, giving your opponent plenty of opportunity to finish you off. Now let's look at the very basic serve for pickleball. It's not so much different from dinking. It's basically lifting the shoulder much higher so that you can serve the ball to the other side. So for the serve, it's the same. Alright, you have to lift up your shoulder for the ball to really fly up high and back to the other side of the court. If you are just lifting up your arms, you'll notice that the bounce off is very hard and unstable. So remember to lift up your shoulder, just like how you dink. Since you are most likely to play with beginners, so a really good serve is basically to serve to the very far side of your opponent's court. Well, that's all for me guys. Thanks for watching.